one starts off with the students only ever playing one note at a time. So we're not playing 2-note chords or 3-note chords. By the end of book one, we've introduced one hand playing 2 notes at the same time, but in a very simple fashion. Also during book one, we explore a range of different hand positions. So we're not just stuck with our thumbs on middle C, we're not just stuck in a basic 5-finger major or minor position, we're exploring all kinds of different hand shapes, but very much within that rhythmic constraint of crotchets, minims and semi-breves. When we get to book two, we start to explore quavers, reading quavers together, reading quavers after a dotted crotchet, so our rhythms start getting more interesting. And we start to play the 2-note chords a lot more. By the end of book two, we're playing 3-note chords. And we're beginning to shift our hands outside of the 5-finger position, whether it's just stretching a single finger or actually moving the whole hand into a new place. Book three takes that to a whole nother step when we start moving a lot more freely around the place, using 4-part harmony. That's actually quite a difficult skill, to play one chord in one hand and one chord in the other hand at the same time. Rhythm starts getting quite interesting. We're changing time signatures a lot as well. And by the end of book three, we've introduced tucking the thumb underneath the fingers. So we're starting to create those scale shapes that students need to be able to perform in order to begin learning preliminary music. A normal lessons book tends to be quite focused on teaching students skills. So you end up saying, today we're going to be learning to do this, or we're learning to play in this hand position, or we're learning to read a dotted crotchet, whatever the case may be. P-Plate Piano doesn't focus on that knowledge and skill acquisition from that same angle. P-Plate Piano really asks the student to explore what they can do on the piano a lot more. So a major difference between a method book and P-Plate Piano is the degree to which the student is invited to participate creatively in making the music. And that's not to say that method books don't have creative activities in them, but P-Plate Piano really does make this a highlight and a feature of every single piece of repertoire. It's going to take a student approximately 6 to 9 months to finish a book if they are the average kind of student. Now, of course, no student is the average kind of student. So what are we looking at here? We've got the age of a student that we need to take into account. A very young student might take a whole year to work their way through a P-Plate Piano book. But it also depends on what else you're doing. If all you're doing is P-Plate Piano, you're going to get through it a lot faster than if you're using it as a repertoire book in addition to a method book that maybe you might be using a method and a technique book and some other solos and P-Plate Piano. Well, it's going to take a lot longer if you use it that way. So it comes down to how you use it, it comes down to how old the student is, and it comes down to how much time you allow your student to enjoy all of the activities that P-Plate Piano suggests that the student undertake. Yes, well, at the end of book three, a student has actually gained many of the skills that they're going to need in preliminary. Not all of them, but most of the skills. So at the end of book three, the idea would be start learning a lot of pieces at the preliminary level and take that same experience of learning lots of repertoire and then selecting your 3 favourites into the way that you prepare for a preliminary exam. A lot of piano teachers find that they're under a lot of pressure from parents to accelerate children through assessments as quickly as possible. I wouldn't be at all surprised if teachers are thinking to themselves, I wonder if I can do P-Plate Piano Book 1 and P-Plate Piano Book 2 and then just go straight to preliminary. Or maybe do Book 3, P-Plate Piano Book 3 and go straight to Grade 1. Well, the answer is, of course, you can do whatever you like. But would you want to do that is really the question. And the fact of the matter is, P-Play Piano has been designed to create firm foundations. So you're building up your skill set piece by piece, experience by experience. And why at this exciting age where children are enjoying exploring what they can do on the piano, why would you actually want to rush them through those foundations? The whole idea is take your time laying the foundations securely, and then your student is going to actually accelerate through the middle grades. You're going to find grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, your student flies ahead because they've got such a secure knowledge of all of the things that they should have learnt back at preliminary because they didn't actually skip forward.